experiencing different number of forces in different direction with different line of action, then that complete system of different types of forces that are coming on any body is called a system of forces. For example, we have a let's take an example of a house. House has number of forces which are coming on it. It has gravitational forces, it can have wind forces, it can have earthquake forces, and there are number of forces which can come on any object. Here we took an example of house, and we could figure it out that there are actually number of forces on any individual or any structural member. So the complete system of different types of forces coming on any object is called a system of forces, right? And now there are basically different types of these system of forces, right? We are not talking about forces now because we have already studied about different types of forces that can come on any member. Now we wanted to know the different types of system of forces. What will be the different types of system of forces, which is being distinguished like this. The first one is your coplanar forces, right? It's coplanar forces. And second one is your concurrent forces. And the third one is collinear forces. Fine. These first three types of forces are basis for different formation of the forces. First one is coplanar, and then is concurrent forces and collinear forces. And the fourth one is coplanar and concurrent forces. Okay. It is coplanar concurrent forces. That means it is actually, it comprises of two system of forces, right? Which is coplanar and it is concurrent as well. And then we have coplanar and non-concurrent forces. And we have non-coplanar concurrent forces. Okay, we have non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. Fine. These are actually derived. These four are derived from what? They are actually derived from the first three types of system of forces. And then going towards the parallel and unlike parallel, like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces, we have another two types of forces which are like parallel forces. That means like is similar parallel forces, and unlike parallel forces. These are another two types of categorization of the system of forces. And finally, we have special forces, right? Now we'll try to understand what are actually these types of forces. Firstly, here we have coplanar forces, right? And with the term itself, coplanar means what? They are in the same plane. They are in one plane, right? Here in the diagram itself, you can also see that the forces actually, the combination of force, it is not actually the single force we are talking about. No, we are not talking about any single force, because here we are talking about system of forces. That means in any coplanar force, definitely there will be 3 points, right? In any single plane, there will be combination of at least three types of forces. Now that we see that they all belong to the same plane. Same plane means only one plane. One plane means in x, y, and z direction, right? Here, basically, what happens is when there are several forces which are acting on the body, right? Uh, which is which are actually called as system of forces, or they are called as also force system. Fine. Here, this article, basically this coplanar forces, it deals with the system of forces which are acting in the same plane. Okay, and the forces are either having a common line of action, right? They're having either a common line of action or they are intersecting at some common point, right? For example, let's say we have three types of forces: one, two, and three. And if now the forces have the common line of action, they are all in one line, and they are also in single plane, right? right? They are also in single plane. They are in one plane. That means they are coplanar. They can now this system of forces in any coplanar action. They can be either in a single line of action, that is with respect to this, and they can also be, for example, we have three forces. One is coming this direction, another is also coming this direction, another is also coming this direction at a single point, right? That means three forces are again there, three forces are again there in three directions, right? This is now what they are basically intersecting at a single point. They are intersecting at a common point. Therefore, you can say one type of force which can be derived out of coplanar forces is, for example, we have three forces, but they have same line of action, right? They have same line of action. And another type is that we have a point and all the forces are intersecting at a single point. This is again in a single plane, in one plane. That means in one plane means 2D. It is a 2D force. It is not a 3D force. Wherein 3D force you have the third dimensions to be taken into consideration as well. Now, secondly, firstly, it was what? Coplanar, that means in single plane. And then we have another type of system of force, which is concurrent force. Concurrent means that they are actually, all forces are actually meeting at a single point. Same as I have told you earlier. But in the previous case, we discussed regarding coplanar. That means in one plane. Here, if all the forces, here you can see the direction you got disconnected. Now we are actually talking about what? Concurrent forces, right? Concurrent forces actually mean what? Those forces which meet at one point. Here you can see all the forces are having a direction such that the forces are actually meeting at a single point, and such forces are called as concurrent forces. Fine. Third one is collinear forces. Collinear. Okay. From the title of these forces, that is collinear. Collinear means what? Collinear means that all the forces are actually in
Hello,
a
sir.
single line
Hello.
or the same line. Here you can see the line of action. That means we had actually three forces. We had force 1, we had force 2, we had force 3. But they are moving in a हाँ जी हाँ हाँ बताइए यस
सर सुना ही
Sir,
नहीं दे रहा है कुछ
हाँ somebody wanted to ask something
sir, क्या concurrent force को हम बोल सकते हैं point force?
Burhan, are you there? 61.
Yes, sir.
Are we back? There is a problem again because it's getting disconnected again and again. Are we back?
Yes, sir.
Somebody was asking something. It got disconnected.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था एक सर
हाँ,
मैं
बताइए.
कॉन्करेंट फोर्सेस को हम पॉइंट फोर्स बोल सकते हैं
They are actually point forces. On any object, they are actually point forces such that all the point forces are interacting, they are intersecting at a single point.
Okay.
Okay, they are intersecting at the same point. That is it. They are actually point load only.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
जो आपने दूसरा केस बताया ना कोप्लेनर का, जो एक ही पॉइंट पे इंटरसेक्टिंग एट अ कॉमन पॉइंट था.
Just wait for some more time. Just try to understand first. At the end of the lecture, I'll take your questions.
Okay, sir.
Let's complete the lecture first. Now we were talking about collinear forces. Okay, we were talking about collinear forces. Collinear is that whose line of action lie on the same line. Initially, what we were talking about, we talked about coplanar. Here we saw that the line of action lies on the same plane. Okay, line of action is on the same plane. Whereas when we talk about collinear, here we